Okay, if you made it this far, you are doing amazing. So when I first learned this, I kept messing up and kept messing up, and I would have to go back to step one and start over, and that is totally fine. Sometimes you mess up, you turn it the wrong way, and you don't know how to get back. Just start over at step one and go back through it, and you'll be fine. The more you do it, the more you'll learn, the easier it'll be. So don't worry if you have to start over. So where we are now is we have solved the bottom two rows. The white is going to be on our bottom, and our yellow center is going to be on the top. So the next thing that we are going to do, the next step, is to make a yellow cross on the top. We don't care about the corners. We just want a yellow cross. When you get to this step, there's a few options that a few variations you might find that you have. This is what I would call a right angle of yellow. That's what we have now. You might have only the center is yellow. You might just have a dot of yellow, or you might have a line where this would be yellow. The three of these would be yellow. Those are the three variations you will probably find. And regardless, it's pretty easy to solve. So for this, we have an angle. So what we are going to do is we are going to hold the yellow up so that this is our front face. When we tilt it, we want our angle to be this direction. We would not want it to be any of these. We would want our angle to be this way on the top. This front, just this front one, we are going to turn it once to the right. We are going to do a right algorithm. And then this front that we turned, we are going to turn it back up. Now we have a line. We started with an angle and now we have a line. Okay, so again, we are going to hold it with the yellow on the top. And if we tilt it, we want the line to be horizontal. Okay, this front, we are going to turn to the right. We're going to do a right algorithm. And then we are going to turn it back up. And now we have our cross. That corner is a yellow. That's fine. We don't need that. We're not worried about the corners. We have our yellow cross in the middle. That's what we want. And our bottom two layers are still solved. Now, if you have a dot, let's just say you have just a dot. I don't know how to recreate that, but if you just have a dot, instead of turning just the front, you're going to turn the two forward facing edge sides. You're going to turn both of those to the right, do your right algorithm, and then turn them both back up. That will get you to having an angle, and then you will solve it from there. So if you can't remember those, if you can't remember if you're supposed to do the first or the first two, really it doesn't make much of a difference. As long as you are turning the front or the front two to the right, and then doing a right algorithm, and then turning them both or one, whichever you turn it back the same way. Now we have an angle. You will be okay. You will jump between the variations of the dot, the angle, the line, or the full cross, and your bottom two will remain solved. So as long as you are turning one or both to the right, doing a right algorithm, and then reversing what you turned, you're not going to mess it up, and you will eventually land on a yellow cross. But if it's a dot, do your front two. If it is the other two, do just the front. But again, if you do it and you thought you were going to get a line and you got an angle or whatever, just keep doing it and you'll get there. You'll get to the cross. And that's it. That's the next step. So once you get to the cross, Once you get to your yellow cross and these are solved, now all we have left to do is solve this row here. Okay, the next step that we're going to do is the corners.